Okay, I guess we're back. Been having some technical difficulties. This is like the upteenth time I've done this video. But let's go into it, shall we? In August, we have the Golden Boy card that people have been screaming about and yelling at Steven Espinoza for putting on such a card that is like, what in the world are you doing? And Danny Garcia is headlining this card, returning back to championship boxing with him, Lamont Peterson, and Danny Jacobs. Now, it's not the fact that these guys are headlining the card that have people upset. People are upset because Lamont Peterson isn't fighting Danny Garcia to have a unified champion. They say, okay, well, they're leading up to that fight. Well, it's no guarantee Danny Garcia is going to stay at welterweight. But let me break down the business side and then the fight side. Business side for Golden Boy, your company's under a lawsuit. October 3rd is the start of a trial. You don't want to commit so much of your finances and money into promoting a fight and trying to build cards, and you don't have this type of time right now. You have to try to clear your schedule, clear your slate. That's why this is the only card fight that's been made past July. And the only reason why this fight has been made and done so far past July is because they have dates that they have to obligate with the Barclays Center. The Barclays Center, you can't really cancel dates on the Barclay. When you make those dates, you have to have fights. So they made a fight that was less costly to the company and it's going to generate some revenue, and they need some generated revenue for the company. Now for the fight side, on the fight side of the business, you're looking at Danny Garcia needing a confidence boost because a lot of people felt that he lost his last fight against Herrera, and maybe Danny Garcia wasn't as good as what they thought. He fought a lot of guys who were older or slow-footed, or wasn't that great, and maybe the Khan fight was a lucky punch. See how one fight turns everything around? Before he was an opponent for Mayweather, now it's like, forget Danny Garcia. He's not as good as we thought he was. And that's just one fight. From the Lucas Matisse fight, he was on top of a mountain, and after the Herrera fight, he's somewhere sitting down. No one's thinking about Danny Garcia unless he fights another stellar fight. And to go all the way into fight an opponent whose name is Rod Lightning Salka, if I'm not mistaken. He's 19-3 with three knockouts, and basically he's won 4 of his last 5 fights. A lot of people thought he got robbed against Canelo's brother when he fought him last, and people thought that he won, and Canelo's brother, because of the name, actually got the hand raised. Who else did he fight? I don't remember, but I think he's a former sparring partner of Danny Garcia. And it's like, okay, this is a highlight fight for Danny. They want him to knock his head into the road. The fight's gonna sell because people like going to events. You got lights, camera, action. People want to see these showcase fights. See, the problem that HBO fell into, that Showtime didn't, is they were invested in fighters and instead of buying the fight like Showtime, is that they created a showcased event where they was gonna just put mediocre talent in, and they want you to buy the name, buy the stars, and just show up to see them do their thing. And this is kind of like what you need. You needed an action fight, and that was it. This is the type of showcase fight for Danny Garcia to probably build some confidence. If it's leading to a fight with Lamont Peterson, I don't really have a problem with it. But there's no guarantee we're going to get that fight because Danny Garcia may be going to welterweight. So what's the big woof? It's just a money fight. Then you have Lamont Peterson. Now Lamont Peterson, in his situation, Lamont Peterson shouldn't even be the champion. He lost to Matisse, and only by the technicality that he didn't defend his title he's still champion. So, I mean, okay. But a lot of people still think stylistically him and Danny Garcia is a great matchup, and I would like that. Edgar Santana was, to me, he's long in the tooth. He's very skilled. This is an okay fight. It's okay. Because Lamont Peterson always fights to the level of his competition. So, it's going to be an exciting back and forth type of fight. And, you know, he might stop him. You know, he's actually beat Josecito Lopez before. In case people don't know who Santana is. He was a great prospect down the road. He's kind of not looked at as a prospect anymore. He's 35, you know. How far are you going to go with that? Danny Jacobs. Okay, he's fighting Gerard left jab Fletcher. That's all you need to say. Left jab is 18-1 with 10 knockouts. But he's left jab Fletcher. Not a lot of people want to see left jab Fletcher. I mean, that's just it. We don't want to see nobody jab. They want to see some fights. But Daniel Jacobs, who's been named now the Miracle Man because of what he's doing, is being brought along slowly. But they told you before that Peter Quillin and Danny Jacobs were supposed to fight early this year. Still haven't happened. They still haven't given you this fight. And you're like, well, what are they building for? You're not going to get any bigger than this. But they're doing it because they just keep fulfilling the dates. Keep throwing Quillins and Jacobs on there and keep Brooklyning you to death on these cards. Hell, you might see Paulie back in there. Paulie, Zab, Danny Jacobs, Peter Quillin. Bang, bang. Keep you hitting up with those until you overload. And then they finally have to make these fights against each other. You know, the prices are good. $250 gets you front row. Anybody who calls himself balling wants to take their girl there, they're going to want to spend that $250 to show that they got it. Then you got $125, $75, $50, $25 seats. You're going to sell out. I mean, you're going to at least sell 6,000 tickets, and that's the goal. Sell 6,000 tickets. Now, after this, what will we see next? That's the results that we want to see as boxing fans. Where does Danny Garcia go? Is he fighting Lamont Peterson? We need something solid and concrete. Okay? I understand the business side, I understand the boxing side, but as a fan of the sport, I want to see them in real competitive fights that matter. You know, I'm sorry. Now, I'm sorry I'm not giving Lightning too much of a chance to strike in August. I'm out.